I am Director Park Sung-ok of Leo Animal Hospital, specializing in tumor treatment for elderly toy breed dogs. These are my personal opinions on the supplements elderly dogs need and the periods when care is necessary as they age. I hope this will serve as a reference. We treat tumors without surgery. I developed a treatment to primarily treat skin tumors or mammary tumors without anesthesia or surgery. Most of the pets are very small breeds and elderly, so many owners are quite fearful of anesthesia and surgery. Those owners mainly come to our hospital seeking tumor removal without surgery. They are inevitably old, with most being over 12 years old. And these very small breeds usually weigh under 3 kilograms. In most cases, these pets come to receive treatment. Sometimes, dogs aged 7 to 8 come in with tumors. It's a bit puzzling. It's an age where old age and aging haven't fully begun yet. It's a bit early to call this the usual period when cancer commonly occurs. So, for most clients who visit for tumor treatment, the first thing I want to say is that cancer occurs because some poison enters the body, or rather than thinking cancer develops by eating something harmful or similar, it should be understood that this dog's body created an environment conducive to cancer development and growth. Normally, about 3,000 to 5,000 cancer cells are generated each day. Because immune cells completely remove these cancer cells, cancer cannot be detected in our bodies. However, as we age, the quality of immune cells slightly declines. There are qualitative and quantitative changes, including a decrease in the number of immune cells. So, when they usually reach about 7 to 8 years of age, entering the elderly stage. Personally, when it comes to immunity, I think cancer is the main concern now. I recommend taking supplements related to cancer. First, it is related to gut health. Gut health is essentially immunity, because the most immune cells are located in the gut. What happens in the gut, in a way, involves food entering the digestive system from outside. Because many processes that handle food and bacteria occur in the intestines. The intestines have the highest concentration of immune cells. One common situation that most dog owners frequently encounter is whether the dog eats chicken, beef, or pork. If the dog eats food it is allergic to, its stool becomes loose. Well, this is natural because you ate food to which you are allergic. Interestingly, sometimes ear infections develop afterward. But why does this happen? This is because immune cells migrate in large numbers to the allergic area. This means that immune cells, which were evenly distributed throughout the body performing their own tasks, sudden movement to the intestines causes secondary ear infections to develop. In such a situation, when a fire alarm sounds, all fire trucks nationwide head to this mountain. If these fire trucks move to Gangwon-do or recently to regions like Gyeongbuk, it becomes a situation where they cannot respond to fires occurring in the neighborhood. In similar situations, cases of otitis externa, dermatitis, or cystitis can occur. So, addressing these bacteria by promoting a healthier gut microbiota is the best way to enhance immunity. The first method I recommend is probiotics. Since there are many probiotic products designed for dogs and cats, I recommend feeding products that are easy to administer and palatable. And the second topic is related to immunity. This is a pattern that has repeatedly appeared throughout my long career as a veterinarian. It is about stress. It is the stress hormone called cortisol, and when it is secreted, immune function declines. The most common issue seen in dogs is separation anxiety. Dogs experience very high stress when separated from their guardians. This stress period lasts from the moment the guardian leaves the house until they return. Usually, it's mom's overseas trip. When mom goes on a 4-night, 5-day trip to Vietnam and comes back, blood appears in the urine due to cystitis, or inflammation may develop on the skin, and in severe cases, convulsions can occur. Such situations can occur. Therefore, how to manage the stress is a very important part of immune management. Usually, tranquilizers are available to help reduce such stress. Well, there are various types of medicines. Since these medicines here are chemical agents anyway, taking them over a long period can be somewhat burdensome. Caregivers are very reluctant to give this type of medicine. What is good to use in these situations is, there is CBD oil currently sold in many animal hospitals. This is hemp oil. It has a very effective stress-relieving effect. So, in animal hospitals, it usually comes in a dropper form for administration. If not, you can simply search for CBD oil on Naver. There are many different types of hemp oil. If you buy a suitable one and consume it, you will get a similar effect. If you want to see a somewhat more definite effect than this, then I recommend trying homeopathic medicine. So far, I have applied homeopathic medicines to various symptoms, especially dogs that are dealing with psychological stress, anxiety, fear, or similar situations. This medication works very well, and since the cost isn't very high, it is recommended to use homeopathic remedies to manage separation anxiety. Usually, it comes in small granules like these. It's very easy to feed because it tastes like sugar. And now, the third point is managing acidity. Since I mainly focus on tumor treatment, if you start this after the age of 7, when considering what might be the best option, in my opinion, this is the best. Actually, rather than doing good things, it's better not to do things that negatively affect a dog's health. So, I want to say that this is the most important. What happens is that usually tumors form. The body must become alkaline to create an environment that suppresses tumors. Therefore, when the body becomes acidic, it is very conducive to tumor growth. Furthermore, it greatly facilitates metastasis to other parts of the body. So, what is the biggest impact on tumor metastasis? In fact, the main cause of acidifying the body is meat. When I say this meat, such as serving beef, pork, or fried chicken, or grilling samgyeopsal pork belly, or grilling beef, people simply think of meat as just the kinds of meat we eat like these. Meat, including all the meat served as snacks, is not allowed. So it would be good to replace these with vegetables. Specifically, what I recommend is, first is cabbage, second is broccoli, thirdly, carrots. And I want to give something a little sweet. Then, it would be good to give pumpkin. Among the dogs that recently visited for tumor treatment, they are not yet 8 years old. There was one common characteristic among tumor treatment patients weighing less than 3 kilograms. Usually, before I start the first treatment, when creating charts, I ask what specific foods they are eating. Most people say they are not eating meat. However, the truly interesting point is, snacks that look like this are usually not considered meat. This isn't meat, right? People usually say it like this, but what these kids had in common was this square-shaped snack. Its name is the one that built the Roman Empire. This is a snack sharing the same name as Caius, Julius, and Caesaro. Before the age of 1, metabolism is actually very good, because the ability to digest and absorb is excellent. Even if you give some meat or various types of food, it often does not cause significant problems for the child. Generally, after turning 7 years old, this is the period when a person usually reaches a life transition phase. So usually, metabolic capacity can be considered to decrease by about 30% statistically. So what was not a problem before when eating, from this point on, it can become a problem. What I recommend is to reduce the amount of meat or meat snacks you give by half, or it would be good to stop giving them altogether. Reducing meat consumption rather than giving supplements can be a great long-term help for the child. Based on the information I have provided so far, probiotics or something like that. Giving supplements in situations where the pet is stressed, or slightly restricting meat intake, is beneficial for dogs and cats beginning to leave their youth behind. It can be a great help throughout the process of treating many dogs and cats with various illnesses. I will explain the confirmed points to you. Please refer to this section. It would be best if you decide on snacks or supplements based on this. Thank you.